You can get your Figmas at Big Bad Toy Store at the link in the description down below. Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Kaiju, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hey, hello there collectors, it's Steven here, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Nintendo figure for a review. It is going to be the Figma Link, A Link Between Worlds version DX Edition. Now, just to be clear, if you're looking to get the non-DX edition, the review's basically going to be the same. The only difference is going to be in the accessory section, and even then, I'll break it down for you for what the DX edition comes with versus what the standard edition comes with. Now, with that being said, this figure is a little cartoony for those who really do like their super serious action figures, but it comes jam-packed with plenty of accessories, and it's been featured in plenty of sales. So is this figure bad, or is it just simply not popular? Well, let's take a look to see whether or not this Link is worth adding into your collection. Generally speaking, the art style for A Link Between Worlds is pretty sweet and straightforward. It is not necessarily chibi like Wind Waker, but it also isn't super serious like Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess. It actually falls into somewhat of a cartoony style, and the actual in-game models, well, they don't quite match what we got here in the figure format. What they did, though, is they took the best approach they could from the promotional artwork, which actually had human proportions instead of a large head and kind of stumpy body, and that's the design of Link that they gave us, which I think they did a rather rock-solid job here. Some folks complained about specifically the hair and maybe the proportion of the arms, but you know what? I think it overall does look good. And what really does help is that the paint does bring out some of the details found in the sculpt. Now, in terms of application, the decals used for Link's eyes, rather straightforward, no quality control issues to report. And then we do have the paint application for the different aspects of his head, including the brim on his hat. We do have the hair, which is not quite a yellow, is a bit more of a brown. There are some different shading variations here and there, which bring out some of the nicer details, which is great to see. For his tunic, it does have some waves here and there, which do look great. Now, the detailing here is a little softer. Those who are familiar with Figma should not be surprised by this at all, including different plastics used for the arms, so this way, hey, it actually has a different coloration to it. He does also have the bracelet there, which helps him swap between different dimensions. Which you're going to see that accessory a little bit later. Mine has just a couple of small QC errors, but to be honest with you, they're so small, may as well not even mention them. We do have the continuous smaller paint application here, like the belt buckle, looks just fine. And then moving on down to the feet, the legs, all that good stuff down there. Realistically speaking, no issues to report. So regardless of your stance as to whether or not they matched up with the promotional work, with the in-game work, whatever it may be, the actual execution of this figure looks just fine. All right, for the articulation of Link here, it's basically what you should expect of a Figma, but due to sizing, there are going to be a couple of joints where you think, that's not going to work, where they actually do. First and foremost, hat. The back portion of it is on a swivel. All right, now, for the head, it plugs into the neck, where the head is going to be attached to the joint on a ball joint, so this way we can wiggle it around a little bit. And then it's going to be on a hinge to move this way, and then swivel to look left and right. So this way Link can look in a lot of different directions. He's got some pretty good neck movement, which is good. Okay. Then for the shoulders, they plug into the body on a ball joint, so this way we can wiggle them around, move them in all sorts of crazy directions, spin them around as needed. Then, where the actual shoulders plug into that joint is going to be on a hinge, so this way we can raise and lower Link's arms. But do keep in mind that on the box, it shows that Link can raise his arms directly up. Due to the sculpt, that is not possible, aside from just this. Like, they show it straight up like that. Nope, you're going to end up breaking it, so that's not possible. Now, because of that, there's also a bicep swivel there. So that's cool. Single hinge elbows, but as you can see here, normally, single hinges aren't that great, but Link basically gets all of the movement that he's going to need out of that one hinge. For the wrists, typical Figma 2.0 style, where we're going to have a hinge movement along with a swivel movement, okay? So that's pretty good. And then the hands plug in on pegs, which as you're swapping them out, do be careful that you're not going to just remove the entire joint instead of just popping off the hand. Now, for the main body, feels like we got an ab crunch of some kind in the main body, but we do have a waist joint, ball joint, so we can twist and turn Link around, which is cool. Then we do have the hips, ball jointed, so we can move Link's legs forward and back like that, out to the side like that. We do have swivels at the thighs, single hinge knees, ball jointed ankles where they plug into the leg. Ooh, pretty cool. Then we do have hinges at the feet. They plug in on a peg, so we get ankle rockers. And then toe hinge. All right, so the articulation on Link, very cool for a swordsman. He's going to be able to go into a lot of fun poses and use the plethora of accessories the DX version comes with. Yay! Now for the DX version of this figure, there are plenty of accessories to go over. So first, let's just talk about the standard edition and what comes with it. We're going to get the Master Sword and Hylian Shield as optional parts, along with another faceplate and a slew of hand parts. Now, we are also going to get a little illustration sheet which shows the 2D version of Link. Okay, pretty cool. Now for the DX edition, we're going to get the tornado rod, hook shot, and attachment parts, bomb, baby, Mai. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We're also going to get a rupee and support stand for that, pot, and we're going to get more hands. Both versions also do come with a Figma support stand. Whew. Okay, so let's go ahead and work through this by standard edition up to DX edition. So here's the extra faceplate. Link is looking a bit more serious here. Very straightforward, easy enough. We're going to take a look at the Master Sword and Hylian Shield, and now the Hylian Shield is fantastic and is actually pixel perfect. Let's go ahead and use video game lingo there. In previous Link releases, whether it's going to be a Nendoroid or even the Twilight Princess Figma version of Link, the shield has always had a couple of paint errors here and there. On mine here, not a single one, and it's nice to see it be crisp and clean. For the Master Sword, the paint application looks fantastic as well. The blue used running down the center is masked perfectly, and then when we get to the actual hilt of the sword, it looks amazing as well. Link also does come with a 2D version of himself, and this is also cool and disappointing. It's cool because not only did they take into consideration that people may want to display this from the other side, so they did take into consideration that they would have to not just mirror the image. Link actually has a different arm out front on the other side of the piece of plastic, but the support stand that he comes with is kind of, well, garbage. It does not actually work as a support stand. Link will just simply fall over. Instead, the intent is to use the Figma stand you get with the Link set and use it to support this up, meaning that if you want to use your Figma stand with Link, you won't be able to do that. So you can have the 2D Link floating all over your wall, but you can't actually use a Figma support stand with your normal Link. So it's cool, but it's not. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about what comes in the DX edition. All right, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and get the smaller accessories out of the way. We get the iconic rupee, and it is made of a translucent green plastic, which Link can use splayed hands to hold it like he just found it out of a treasure chest, which would have been nice to get in one of these Link releases, or whatever it may be. And that little support stand is great to just have it displayed somewhere on your Zelda shelf, if you do happen to have one. We do have the baby Mai. Again, hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. Go ahead and correct me in the comments down below. Which the detailing on something this small is really, really fantastic, because usually there are some things that are cut here and there, some corners it's just like, it's small, no one's going to care. Nope, the eyes are perfect, and so is that frown because it wants to go back to mama. It looks really good. We do have the tornado rod, which is probably my favorite accessory in the DX edition, which is specifically why I wanted to pick this up. Now, the way that it works is very similar to swapping out the sword parts, and that is how you assemble it. Now, the issue here is that the actual rod that is spinning that part, what you have to do is you have to pop out a little peg at the top, and then you have to slide the little sheet over, and you got to pop it back in and make sure you're lining everything up correctly. And that little piece you pop off can be very difficult to do. So make sure you're not breaking anything. But once you do that, it does look rather convincing. Now we do have the hook shot, which just comes as the fully retracted one and the fully expanded one. Both versions look fantastic and they're nice to display. The only kind of issue that I'm sort of worried about is that the fully expanded hook shot may be too heavy for Link's arm over time and it may cause joints to get loose, so use this at your discretion. That being said, no quality control issues to report here. Just follow the instructions for disassembly and reassembly appropriately so you don't break anything. Next up, we do have the bomb, and the bomb is going to be an iconic Zelda accessory, and you can probably use this with your Twilight Princess version Link as well, if needed. The bomb does fit into a specific hand that was given with the DX edition, so this way if you wanted Link to hold it before he threw it, you can do that, which mine has just a very minor quality control issue of a gray drip of paint, which really is my issue, may not be yours. Last but most certainly not least, we have yet another iconic Zelda accessory, and it is going to be the pot, which is hollow, so you can hide stuff in it if you wanted to. Fantastic and amazing. So, all in all, for accessories for the DX edition, there's a lot, and I would like to go into more detail. But then this review would be absurdly long. So I do refer you to the instructions you will get with this figure to make sure that you don't break anything. Just keep in mind you will be disassembling most parts by the handle and then reattaching, okay? Okay. Now if you need any recommendations for effect parts, you know I have videos to help you out there. All right, now it's time to round out this review with a size comparison of Link with some other figures you just might have on your shelf, including some Legend of Zelda characters. So, if you're worried about size, don't. This is rather small in terms of a Figma, so yeah, he's going to fit just nicely on your shelf. So buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. If you're looking to get the standard one, please don't think about it because the DX edition can probably be found on sale for maybe even cheaper than MSRP of the standard edition. Okay, so if you're going to get this one, go with the DX edition. You're going to get plenty of accessories, even some of those that can be used with the Twilight Princess version of Link. Okay, done deal. Now, if you're a fan of this one, this is a no-brainer. Definitely pick it up. If you're not, well, you know what? It's still a fun Figma, and if you're a Zelda fan, definitely at least give it a try. If not, hey, you can resell it. I really like this one. I enjoy it. Hopefully, you will too. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now you've heard a lot from me, I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand-selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand-selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.